So let's take a quick look at the general approach, a general strategy which we're going to be employing over the next 12 weeks. Now, we've coined this the downhill diet. The reason is, I know it's a genius name, the reason is it gets easier as you're going. So we're trying to use that idea of momentum and speed and acceleration to help understand what's going on, because there is a fair bit of complex nutritional strategy here, but really as you go through this program and you get to understand each of these components much better, which will be breaking down, so there'll be much more deep dive information on these components as you go forwards. But the building of a foundational appreciation for nutrition will really stem from understanding the intentions of each of these components, why they work over a specific period of time, and why they might not work as a cure-all to nutritional strategy forever. So we've broken it down to these three components: blitz, burn, balance, each lasting 4 weeks. Now, if you look at this line as being a general sort of energy equation, energy balance, most nutritional information will have reference to a caloric surplus or a caloric deficit. Now, obviously with the intention of losing body fat, having a caloric deficit makes sense. There's other ways to lose body fat hormonally through other mechanisms, but from a general sort of layman's guide to body fat reduction, caloric deficit is required. So over the Blitz campaign, which you're doing up front, we're going to be going to a 25 to 30% deficit for most of you. That might be vary a little bit based on where each individual is at, and that's where your personalized programs come in. But for a general rule, a 25 to 35% deficit. Now, is that a good idea to maintain forever? Absolutely not. Is it the best way to upregulate metabolism in a short duration? Absolutely. That's why 4 weeks is a sweet spot. If you were to maintain that for 40 weeks, it would start working against you. It would probably cause a whole lot more problems than benefit. But what we're doing by increasing, so this ratio here, based on what your caloric number is, around about, and again, up to each individual, but you'll be given a prescription around about 50 to 55% protein, about a 40 to 45% fat, and about 5% carbs. That residual carbs is just coming really from trace elements of starches, but mainly from fiber. So for most of you, that is a dramatic escalation or increase in a protein intake. It's a dramatic increase in fat, and has a dramatic decrease in carbohydrates. So what are we looking at achieving here? We want to decrease the amount of insulin resistance. Insulin, which is a stress hormone, which we're getting deep into in the later stages of the education component, is why a lot of people carry a lot of body fat and also leads to a lot of inflammatory disease. So if you look at this most simply, what we're trying to do in the Blitz campaign is A, dramatically accelerate metabolic rate, B, reduce inflammation, and C, improve insulin sensitivity, and D, make you metabolically flexible. All those components will be explained at length, so you can really chunk that information, understand it better. But that's what we're trying to do. Think of this as a clean slate. We're trying to do the maximum amount of nutritional repair in the first 4 weeks. Accelerate the metabolism massively and get the best parts of the upside of this caloric deficit and macro breakdown, so that when we move into the burn phase on week 5, and we actually increase the calories slightly, by increasing food, we'll actually increase metabolism and actually burn more body fat. It's crazy, I know, but you'll understand it better as we get to those stages. So we're going to increase the calories, increase the carbohydrates slightly, and the same thing applies to the balance phase. And you'll see with this approach how we move you from something which is very rigid and quite restrictive over the first 4 weeks to get the maximum amount of impact when your motivation is high, good intentions are there, and you're most motivated, and we move it towards something sustainable, maintainable over the long term. So that's your sort of overall breakdown of the downhill diet. Refer back to this video as often as you like to understand that general concept better, but we're breaking down these individual components in much more detail in line with your educational elements over the next 12 weeks. Can't wait